Welcome to the Fall Exhale. Thank you for joining me. All right, everybody. This 2025 is vastly about to end. And I hope you all are reassessing what you're going to do in the new year, things you're going to change about yourself. And frankly, we should, focus on doing better for ourselves, even if it's not approaching the new year. Throw away anything you're not using, serves no purpose. If it's sold, throw it in the garbage. Donate to charity, give to a friend. But don't keep it around. Make sure you go through all your items, food, toiletries, makeup, household items, things in your basement, things aren't being used, things you're storing for other people. Let them know, hey, I don't want to hear anymore. I need to get it out of this house, get it out of this garage, get it out of this attic. Use all your rooms for the sole purpose of what it stands for. Let your kitchen be the kitchen, dining room the dining room, bedroom is for sleeping only, lounging, no exercise equipments, no baby strollers, toys, no. Living room, same thing. Let your living room be your living room. It's time to get rid of old things that we're not using. Clothes, shoes, give those things to somebody in need. There's always somebody out here needing clothes, shoes, spare electronics. Donate them to a charity. Donate them to the thrift stores. Donate them to shelters. Let's clear out our homes and make a new path for the new year. Thank you for joining me. This is a two-part live pertaining to Stefon Diggs. He is a professional football player and singer David. We're going to start with Mr. Stefon Diggs. This is latest information pertaining to assault and battery charges brought against him by his female chef. Thank you for joining me. At the moment, he's got this said charge by this chef, some lady who was working for him. Also, she was staying in his house. And then there's some other people suing him, ex-girlfriend and a media influencer. And we're going to talk about that as well. As of December 30th, Stefon Diggs is facing criminal charges in Massachusetts related to an incident with his former private chef on December 2nd, 2025. Diggs is charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battering. The chef reported that during a wage dispute at Diggs' residence, he became upset, slapped her, and then put his arm around her neck, making it difficult to breathe. She also claimed he threw her onto a bed. Response: Diggs' lawyer has stated that he categorically denies these allegations. The New England Patriots organization is aware of the situation and has stated they will gather more information and cooperate with authorities. In a separate legal matter, Diggs is involved in a contentious civil case with media influencer Christopher Blake Griffin. In October 2025, Diggs filed a libel lawsuit against Griffith, accusing him of fabricating a story about an alleged sexual assault and a plot to have him unalived in May of 2023. Diggs claims Griffith made the false allegations to gain online clout and harm his reputation. In November of 2025, Mr. Griffith has counterclaimed the said suit. Griffith filed counterclaims alleging Diggs drugged and attempted to sexually assault him and later conspired with others to have him attacked to suppress his gay bisexual secrets. Griffith maintains he is the victim. Lord have mercy. This is some hot mess right here. Diggs is also involved in a legal dispute with his ex-girlfriend, Mulan Hernandez, who filed a countersuit for assault after he initially sued her for assault and extortion in February of 2025. He is also reportedly in a paternity case with another woman, while currently in a public relationship with rapper Cardi B. I don't know what the hell I just read, but it's a hot butter mess. So he's got a female former chef suing him. His ex-girlfriend, Mulan Hernandez, filed a countersuit for assault after he initially sued her for assault and extortion in February of 25. Then it says he's also reportedly in a paternity case with another woman No. This is ridiculous. Ex-girlfriend, paternity suit. Then this social media guy says they were doing something together sexually. He was drugged and he attempted to sexually assault him. So what'd you do? Fight him off of you, Mr. Griffith? And this is a counterclaim, of course. So initially, Diggs filed a suit against this Griffith person, a libel suit for fabricating a story about an alleged sexual assault and a plot to have him unalive in May of 2023. I don't know what the hell I'm reading. Diggs claimed Griffith made the false allegations to gain clout and harm. Diggs denies the other assault with the former chef. Let me say this, because when you have to start reading so much, it makes your head spin. It sure makes mine spin. He has too much going on. You've got a man saying that you attempted to sexually assault him after drugging him. He's also counterclaiming a suit. You have a woman claiming that you're the father of her baby. You have another woman who was a former chef that was staying in your house. She's suing you, which don't make no damn sense. Why was she staying in your house? You got too much going on. Now, I'm not here to say that these people are good or bad, because I don't really know what's going on with Stefon Diggs. I don't know him from a campaign, but I know he has too many people suing him. And I also know the flip side of the coin is that when people are wealthy, people will come out of anywhere to ask for money. And if they can't get the money, then next thing you know, they're suing them, such as this new second accuser pertaining to Tyler Perry. We're getting information from text messages where he was thanking Tyler Perry for helping him out of a bad jam. Thank you so much. But now they're saying those texts came after he claimed that Tyler allegedly groped him, did certain things. I don't know what to believe. This story to me is no different. I was reading in the comments under the article pertaining to the storyline where somebody made a comment saying, hey, you know you were bisexual. They've been saying that about him. I don't know who they are, but once again, an allegation that Stefon is a homosexual. I don't know. I hadn't heard anything. I don't go looking for commentary about who he is. Hell, I didn't even know who he was until it came out that he was dating Cardi B and had a kid with her. All this is a hot butter mess. And frankly, with all the mess that went on with Cardi B and her husband Offset, them divorcing, all the affairs, and he said, she said, I definitely would have tread lightly in getting involved with a man that, one, has children, not married to the mothers, haven't been married to the mothers, lawsuits. That's not a guy I want to be in cahoots with. Because now that drama is going to fall on me because I'm involved with this person. I wouldn't even want to be involved with a person that had all of these lawsuits and counterclaims, and what's the point? So let's start with the beginning. Is Stefon Diggs a homosexual? Did he have any type of relationship with this man? Or this man's just looking for attention? What's the truth? Because you know people can lie. People will make up things about you, especially when you're famous, because everybody wants to be known even for a lie. It's just how sick the world is. I'm going to say this to everybody involved. Mr. Stefon Diggs, you need to tread very lightly the company you keep, where you lay your head and where you put up your feet. I'll say the same for Miss Cardi B. I also say the same for these so-called people suing Stefon Diggs. You all need to be careful who you get involved with. And if you are deliberately out here trying to scam people who are wealthy, you should know karma is a bitch, and what goes around comes around. And nothing good's gonna come to you if you're making up stories and fabrications. Now, on to David. Lord have mercy. Mr. Fisher, I want to address something to you. This new information pertaining to a saw found inside of David's former garage where he was renting a house through his agent, and the agent was renting it from another man. Why didn't you tell us this 2 weeks, a month or so ago? Why surprises? First, you tell us there were tools found, tools you would find on a farm. Then you finally waited weeks to tell us it was a burn cage. Now you're telling us you found a saw that was still in the cover, hadn't been used. What are you going to come back with 2 more weeks from now? You're going to tell us you found a coffin too? You saw a coffin in the garage? I don't understand all this fucking secrecy. My thing is this. You know you shouldn't be telling this stuff before the police and the sheriff's office can release the information to the public. So why now you playing cat and mouse with the public? I'll go on national TV and tell them I saw a burn cage. Then I'll wait 2 to 3 more weeks, and then I'll come back and say I saw a saw. So I guess you're gonna wait the 2nd week of January and tell us what's next. I'm sick of this, because this is why the police department has a problem with the medical examiner. They don't want that man talking. They don't want him talking to other people. They don't want people from the medical examiner's office talking to the public, TMZ. And now here you come, you're playing hopscotch with the public. 1 week is one thing, 2 weeks is another thing. Just tell everything you saw in the house, in the rooms, what you gathered from CCTV footage, personal cameras, neighbors' cameras, and be done with it. Because I'm looking forward to another revelation in January from you. And I'm sure the police department is not happy with you, nor is the district attorney. Because you're putting out information that they probably want to wait and tell us on their own. This is a hot butter mess, everybody. All right, we're going to get down to business, and we're going to discuss this nonsense pertaining to David. News Nation is the source. Lord have mercy. You can't win for losing, I tell you. Hope you like the scenery. I decided to continue the Christmas theme until the first of the new year. Hope you all are well. Hope Santa Claus brought everybody what they asked for. Hope the children are happy with their Christmas gifts. And I pray that everyone has a prosperous, safe new year. I will be putting up posts pertaining to this content after this live. This was uploaded 20 hours ago. News Nation, everybody.
Tesla that was found abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. I discovered the dismembered body of teenage runaway Celeste Rivas Hernandez. There has been a ton of speculation. There has been a ton of suspicion. And all of it is centered around the singer named David. It's pronounced David, but it's spelled with a 4. You can see right down there on your screen. The Tesla was his, and Celeste was his underage friend. He has not been seen in public since his world tour. It was abruptly scrapped. He hasn't said a word in public about any of this. And now comes a new bombshell report from TMZ that David will likely face charges early in the new year. They also, we have reported on a grand jury that's secretly been happening. There's been these hearings with evidence. They've been going on for weeks. And TMZ says the prosecutor in charge believes that David did have a hand in his girlfriend's death. This has been ongoing, and there's been so many different moving pieces to all of it. I'm joined once again by veteran private investigator Steve Fisher, who has been on this story really since almost the very beginning. Covered a ton of leads, clues, evidence, been in Los Angeles, breaking new developments all along. So Steve, it's good to see you tonight. You were hired by the owner of the home that David was renting, and you actually went inside the home. What sort of was there any potential evidence? Did you see anything that really stood out to you?
Yeah, well, somebody announced previously that we found a burn cage incinerator, brand new. It was with the incinerator. And there's no purpose for a chainsaw to be at this rental house. I'm certainly not in charge of, trimming the trees or anything. So, I can't say exactly, it was unused, just like the incinerator, but I think, it could go to show some intent about what this plan was, because whatever happened here, like, it was a finalized plan, she was not meant to be left in that Tesla on Woodward Avenue. And so, the plan got upended.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about the burn box in a second. I think that's what you burn. Is that what you call it?
Burn cage.
Burn cage. Okay. But first of all, I want to get to the chainsaw, because I don't think I've heard that before. That there was a chainsaw inside the home. Where was it?
It was in the garage, and it had not been used. It still had the protective shield over the chain itself. But there it is with a burn cage, and you got to wonder what this plan was, what the plan could have been, and it's troubling, because there's really no, just like the burn cage, there's no purpose for it at that house,
So the chainsaw, he was renting the house, correct? Because it's the owner who hired you?
Yeah, actually he was, and it was Josh Marshall, his manager, the owner. One of the reasons I got hired is the owner was trying to figure this out. He didn't know who David was. He'd never heard of David before. He thought Josh Marshall was living in the house with his family.
And did the owner confirm that the chainsaw was not his?
Yes, it's definitely not the owner's. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I've rented a lot of houses. Why you would have a chainsaw in the middle of LA when you're renting a house? Just trying to think of like a reason for that. It seems kind of strange.
Yeah, it is strange, because first of all, to use a chainsaw takes a little bit of training not to hurt yourself, and they're not responsible for any of that, taking care of the outside the property or anything. So what is the purpose? And then when you couple it with not just the incinerator, but now a deceased 14-year-old in a Tesla that's been parked at that property, it becomes really troubling. And hopefully there's going to be some justice here soon. It's been going on a long time.
Yeah, it seems like it's really dragged on. In terms of the burn cage, I'm not really familiar with that. What is it? Describe to me, what is a burn cage?
So it's literally it's a steel cage that it can withstand temperatures up to 1,600 degrees, and they're used a lot on farms to incinerate everything from trash to animals, and to break everything down. And actually the advertising on it is, if you go to your YouTube page, it says burns at 1,600 degrees. Well, human cremations are done at 1,400 degrees, so this has the ability to literally cremate a person if you wanted to, and it makes you wonder what the intent was.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app.
News Nation, Mr. Source. So now we have Mr. Fisher claiming he saw a burn cage in the garage and now a chainsaw, and he believes there was a plan, obviously, to use these items on Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She was found in his Tesla parked around the corner from the home, decomposing. So one could say, well, he didn't use the chainsaw because the cover was still on it. He said it looked brand new. The cover looks as if it was never used. Burn cage still in the box. We've shown you that information from Law and Crime. Feel free to check out the channel for that said source. David, when did you unalive this girl? Because that's the next, question to ask with this information about a saw. First a burn cage, a saw. When did you unalive her? It does look like it was a faulty plan, that you didn't have the time to get rid of her. You ordered these products. Don't know when you ordered the products. That's another question. But it was to be used for this girl, I do believe. But something came up to where you couldn't use the products on this kid. And I'm assuming it's because you got the date of this tour, you had to get out of Dodge to make your money. And that's the one reason why one of the managers didn't notify you when he knew police were looking for you in relation to this girl missing, Celeste. And he was stupid not to say anything. But this is what happens when people are greedy. All they care about is making the money. And now we hear there is an imminent arrest coming, which most of us thought that anyway. Now, whoever your helper was, I don't know. Could be a man, could be a woman. Hell, could be somebody underage. Who the hell knows? He likes children, so wouldn't shock me none. There's gossip on the internet, YouTube, about this Asian guy, Neo, YouTube lying on the floor, touching one another. He's got a shirt that says, I'm gay, or if it's gay, I'm in, which means he does promote homosexuality, I would assume. And the pose is very odd and strange for two guys. Are you gay, bisexual? Or you using this girl as a ruse to hide your sexuality? And we've learned when people are young, they can be confused about who they are. But when you're talking about unaliving somebody, that's a whole different conversation. All your songs are about death and doom. You've got to write an 8-page monologue to describe why you wrote a certain song on your album, which I find very bizarre. Your problem is you had an idle mind. You have an idle mind. You had too much time on your hands. One, the fact your parents had you homeschooled. You should have been in school. Dealing with other kids, different nationalities, different type of people, seeing things going places. Maybe you'd have a better mindset. But then, flip side could be, you could have went to public school, private school, and still be the same dirty heathen that you are. And this is what I tell myself. If indeed this man has something to do with this girl being unalive, put into the trunk, which I think he has. He did that. Who knows what else he's done? Because we have learned everybody has a dry run when they decide to get in the business of assaulting and unaliving people. Is this your first KILL? If it is, did you plan on unaliving somebody else? I don't know how stupid you can be to put a human in your car and move your car around the corner. And if I'm to believe what the neighbors said, the car was moving around quite a bit. At least 3 times they said the car was parked in different places. Now, am I supposed to believe that Tesla got a command to park itself in different places? Because my understanding, this is a tech-savvy car. That would be even more bizarre. The car moving itself place to place, different places, up the street, 2 parking spaces up. My. And you know that you're going to be arrested. Grand jury meeting, you've heard all the information that everybody else is hearing. And you know you are the star of this picture show. But it ain't going to have a good ending. It ain't going to have a good ending at all. Wasted time, wasted youth, wasted talent on the macabre. Instead of saying to your parents, I think there's something wrong with me, I've got a problem, I need to see a therapist. I need to talk to somebody about these dirty thoughts I'm having. I'm having really dirty thoughts, bad thoughts, horrible thoughts about harming people. But instead you do what a lot of people do. You just keep it in and try to find other like people. Write songs and write journals, write poetry. Because you know in the end that's what you want to do anyway. You don't want any help. And I feel sorry for anybody that's come in contact with you. And those managers, they're about to get a whirlwind surprise. Because they're going to have to go to court and testify how they met you, how long they've known you, things you all were working on. And there's only so much lying a person can do. And I personally, I'm not getting ready to cover up for no baby killer. That's out. Like somebody said, you may have a little talent, but you ain't that talented. You're no Michael Jackson or Prince. You're just some random black person who's gotten themselves caught up because their mind's jacked up and they're hiding out with their tail between their legs. Probably still on the internet, scrolling, trolling, using different names, burner phones. But in the end, you're going to be somewhere where you're going to have a hard time trying to get those little burner phones. You're going to have somebody get money so you can have your burner phone and still play these reindeer games behind bars. This is a very sad story. This is why you need to check on your children and see what they're doing and what they're involved in, who they're talking to, where they're going. Because she was just a kid. And obviously she got tangled up with a grown man who had the mind of a child, or a man who's in his late teens who knew he had no business coinciding, taking up with a kid. And if indeed she was 12 or 13 when she first started talking to him online, it's bad business. So your parents didn't do due diligence by you, and nor did her parents. Because we live in a world now, you've got to check on your kids. You've got to see who they're talking to, who they're writing, who they're messaging, who they're texting, who they're video chatting with. It's just the way it is. And we do have some wayward children who act out, but there are probably reasons why they act out. Maybe they have bad home lives. Nobody cares, nobody's watching them, nobody's minding them, nobody loves them, nobody's patting them on the back, nobody's showing them, how to be productive people. So they just look to the world to be their savior. And sadly, this girl looked to you, but somewhere down the line, you became disappointed. That's what all those songs are about, are they not? You, a grown-ass person, disappointed in a kid. Make that make sense. How the fuck can you be disappointed in a child? She's not your child, she's not your kid. Because you didn't have any business dealing with her, talking to her, kissing her, touching her, doing other sexual things. She's a child. All these women out here that you could date and court, men too, hey, we're not gonna leave them out because some people believe you're gay. Go talk to these men out here, go talk to these women out here. And I'm gonna tell you what I think. If indeed he unalived Celeste, somebody his own age would have ended up just like her. So, well, if he would have been able to perfect this crime without leaving evidence, such as a body in the car, he would have done it to somebody else. Because he would have said, oh, I've gotten away with getting rid of this girl, I'll do it again. So that little Asian guy, Leo, whoever he is, you probably would have been on the chopping block too. You would have said something he didn't like, do something, he would have gotten perturbed with you, and you would have went missing. This is what's funny about people who help people commit crime. So let's just say this Neo character did help him, just saying. You don't think that he wouldn't turn on you? Whomever helped David, if indeed is some truth to this allegation, you don't think this man would not turn on you. This is what puzzles me about human beings. A person confesses a crime or asks you to be involved before, during, and after. And somewhere in your sick brain, you're not thinking he or she wouldn't do it to you. Well, why wouldn't they? What's so special about you versus that other person that's dead? Nothing. What do you have more than what the last person had? Nothing. Because when you're dealing with a person who has murder on the brain, it's not going to take much to set him or her off. And people unalive people for various reasons. Usually it's greed, jealousy and greed. You, whomever, would have done something to piss David off, and you would have been just like Celeste Rivas Hernandez. balled up in a plastic bag, deteriorating. And I hope anyone with children who have heard this story will take heed and see after their children. If they're acting strange, misbehaving, not going to school, not coming home when they're supposed to, not minding, talking back, you need to see what the hell's going on with your kid. You need to sit down and let your kid know what I say go. And if you don't, find somewhere for you to go. But I'm not going to be sitting up here worried about what you're doing and where you're at, worrying if you're, if you're alive, deceased. And so I blame the parents too, because at some point they knew this girl was in school. She should have been in school. And now she's a casualty because somebody didn't step up and say, I got to do right by my kid. Hello, Jess. I got to do right by my kid. My kid's acting up, acting out. And I'm not here to say that the parents are perfect. They may have been some problem people doing things they didn't have no business. Selling drugs, using drugs, different people running in and out of the house, 50 million people staying and sleeping in different bedrooms and on the floor. Because we know a lot of people like to have visitors shacked up in her house. So it's no telling what the hell she saw in her house. And if they have minor children in her house, the state need to be watching over them and investigating them to see if indeed these people were a problem to why Celeste didn't like staying in the house, staying in her home. Because something was going on with these people and this kid. So it's a lesson learned. Now, the flip side is, are these people going to change? If indeed they have children and there were the reasons this little girl was running away. And children can be easily enticed, even if they come from a good family, loving parents. But so many children are looking for friends, looking for camaraderie, but they're looking in the wrong place, and they just don't know that they're looking in the wrong place. Because people put on a nice face to draw you in. That's what crooks do. Smile a lot, give you compliments, buy you gifts, and then they come in and hit that juggler 100 miles an hour. And it happens with adults as well. That's why we have a lot of deceased people in the cemetery. Sometimes you don't even see it when it's coming. Sometimes you sit in the belly of the beast knowing you need to be trying to claw your way out, but you get comfortable in there. But you know it's not a good place. I think we all can say that. We took up with the wrong people and we kept supporting them when we knew we should have ran like hell. That's my message. Be careful of the company you keep. You have children, you need to watch your children. You want to give them privacy. You want them to know that you care about them. You want them to know that they are an individual, but you also have to let them know what you will not tolerate. You need to know their friends. You need to meet them, meet their parents. You need to set rules, protocols in your home. Because this is the very reason why we have wayward children and why we have wayward adults. Somebody didn't follow the rules, somebody didn't implement the rules. It's the way it is. 1 second, everybody. There's an update pertaining to this David character. Hold on. Okay. I just got a notification that David has been pulled from a video franchise. So whoever he was in cahoots with for some video game franchise, they have pulled out. This is a two-part live stream pertaining to Stefon Diggs. He's been charged with assault and battery, both misdemeanors. He's being sued by other parties, ex-girlfriend, some media influencer, a male, claiming he sexually assaulted him and drugged him. Allegations, I don't know what's the truth to, but he's got a lot going on. And as I said, the same as I'm saying pertaining to this case, I would say it to Mr. Stefon Diggs, Cardi B, and these other jokers. All of y'all need to get in your lane and mind your business. You need to be very careful who you take up with sexually, friend-wise. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody does not wish you well. And when you have money, people will come out the woodwork trying to set you up and rob you, bring forward sexual assault allegations, say you didn't pay them, because that's what this chef lady is saying. He didn't pay her all her money for the month of December. What I find interesting about that storyline is, Mr. Diggs, why would you have a woman living in your house while you are on the road playing professional football? Help me understand. You have a current girlfriend by the name of Cardi B, who is a Hispanic rapper. And I'm trying to understand, you got a woman, newborn baby, but yet you have a female who is allegedly cooking for you, and you're never there. So why is she there? Come on with it, Queen. It sounds bad. It sounds really, really bad. You got a complete stranger living in your house. So what is she doing? Just coming and going, cooking for other people, and just getting a free ride to stay in a fancy home? It don't sound right. Now, I might give you a pass if you said she was the housekeeper. But a chef, who needs a chef on standby living in her house? Help me understand, because this is the first time in history I've ever heard of an in-house chef who lives in the house. And I watch a lot of reality TV, and my goodness, sir, you are the first wealthy person that I've ever heard of a chef living in someone's home. Make it make sense. I really want to find out that there was more going on with this woman, and you are making the world believe that she's a chef, and maybe that's the line she's using because she wants her money. I don't know. Maybe you owe her money, you didn't pay her, and she just decided to say, I'm the chef. This is very bizarre to me. Then you've got some ex-girlfriend, some baby mama dramas, paternity suits, another man saying you tried to drug him and take advantage of him, bunch of counterclaims. This all sounds like maybe, Stefon, you got a lot going on. And once again, as I have said, who you are as a human is your business, whether you are gay, bi, trans. But if, sir, you're hiding in the closet and not telling your whole truth, just saying, hypothetically, you might want to come on out the closet too. That way, nobody can come along and say, he touched me, broke me, because there wouldn't be anything to stop if you're openly gay. Now, flip side is, the person still can sue you and make up lies on you, straight or gay. But you understand the point I'm trying to make is, it's the secrecy and the hiding is where all the confusion comes in. And that's the claim this guy is making, allegedly. You want to keep your sexuality a secret. So maybe you're using him, I don't know. You tried to touch or drug him. That's some heavy allegations. And then we got, as I brought you content the other day about Tyler Perry, he has a second accuser, Hispanic man, very nice looking, very handsome. He's claiming the same thing. Tyler Perry is a manipulator, and he sexually assaulted him. If you want to believe that or not, I don't know. But that's two lawsuits, civil suits, in what? Less than 6 months. Mr. Perry. And that one case with the white man, Mr. Dixon, I find that case bizarre as well. Why was he living in your house, guest house, or living on the property? If I'm in need of money, I'm not going to ask to stay in your home. I'm going to ask you to give me the money to buy my own home, apartment, condo. I don't need to live in your house. So I tried to understand that. Why would this white man, a black man's house, a multi-millionaire's house, make it make sense? Who also was an actor on one of his TV shows. And then they're saying about this new guy, this Rodriguez guy, he's got text messages that have been released. Don't know how they got out. But anywho, the word is, well, he's thanking Mr. Perry for everything he's done for him, but allegedly the text messages come after he claimed he was sexually assaulted by him. And he's basically, to me, whining like a woman. Well, you know, you do what you have to do. You're still nice to the person, even though they've done you wrong, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, there's all type of wrongs out here. But I have to ask myself, would I be still buddy-buddy with somebody that sexually assaulted me? Because we as women, we do forgive people for a multitude of things, but I can't see RAPE as a reason I'm going to forgive somebody and be hanging around and sending them notes and texts and thanking them for helping me and doing things for me, but they have taken the cookie. I don't know about that. But maybe I should be quiet because I put my foot in my mouth on several things I said I would not do. But I'm just saying, somebody sexually assaults me, I don't think I'll be texting and writing. I'd probably only text to get them to admit it so I can have a proof when I decide to press charges, when I press charges. That'd be the only thing I'd be doing. Texting and calling to get them to tell it and I record it. So I'm going to ask you all this and I'm going to check out here. Do you believe the allegations against Stefon Diggs that he strangled this woman, like I guess, and choked her, threw her on the bed when she asked for her money, this personal chef? Do you believe the allegations? Do you believe he was having some type of affair with this gay influencer? I guess he's gay, I don't know. Mr. Griffith. Is Mr. Griffith black? Maybe we should Google his. Google his name. Lord have mercy, what a mess. Hold on 1 minute, everybody. I'm trying to get information on this guy. Now, he has an arraignment January 23rd, 2026, pertaining to this dispute over wages. This information also says an assistant offered payment in exchange for a non-disclosure agreement with the chef refused to sign. Interesting. Christopher Blake Griffith is his name. Wow. Christopher Blake Griffith. Now this is on his Instagram page. He's got 98.6 thousand followers. Suffering in silence has a limit. Chin up, CB. You knew the love was fake. Chris Blake, the mixtape, now playing everywhere. So he makes music. Interesting. Let's see what this appears to be black. Well, Stefon, with something going on with you and this pretty boy, are we going to find that Stefon Diggs likes men? I don't know. But this is the man who says he was drugged and attempted sexual assault by Stefon Diggs. Put it on paper. Woo! Lord help me, Jesus. I can't with you black folks. It says, what? Chris Blake Griffith accuses Stefon Diggs of drugging him and trying to have sex with him, claims it played a part in him getting jumped by Stefon's brother. They likely wanted my mouth closed about the closeted receiver. I'm dead. Lord, I'm dead. Let's see. Now they're saying that Stefon Diggs wore one of his chains. What kind of SHIT is this? I'm trying to blow the picture up. Well, this is a picture of them together, it looks like. I don't think this is photoshopped. He's got his hand on his shoulder. Is that not him in the shades, Stefon Diggs? So they knew each other. Or know each other, excuse me. What the hell is going on here? Oh, Lord, there's some bad gossip here. I can't read this small print. It's print too small and it's blurry. This is some crazy nonsense. Somebody's written some serious posts, but it's hard to read. Trying to find something big enough where I can read everybody. Thank you for joining me. Pay me or I'll tell your secret. Is that what you said, Christopher? And who is this Gervonta Davis? What role does he play in all this nonsense? It's time for everybody to get it together. Well, I'm going to say this. A lot of men are on the down low, and one thing they don't want it's for the truth to get out that they like men. So if you're out here putting the man's business out here, it may cause a problem down the road, such as that man getting someone to do something to you if he doesn't do something to you himself. And yes, it's good for a woman to know she's dating him, sleeping with him. Because look, Cardi B done slept with him and made a whole kid. Now imagine he's out here sleeping with men on the down low. And he's sleeping with women as well. So I don't know if these are just allegations from scorned men, but this ain't good. Chris Blake Griffith says Stefon Diggs got at him because he didn't want him exposing Stefon Diggs trying to get with him. That don't make no sense. This is ridiculous. Damn soap opera. Weigh in, everybody. What do you think? You think Stefon's homosexual? He's been messing around with this guy, maybe some other men. I don't know. I don't know anything about these young folks. I know everybody need to get it together. Sexual influencer. This Chris Blake. I'm just looking to see what they got on them. It looks, there's a lot of people talking. All I can say is this is a hot butter mess. A hot butter mess. I'm going to see what Reddit has to say. So Griffith also alleged that he was attacked by Stefon's, close associates after turning down his sexual advances. So you're saying Stefon wanted to get with you. This doesn't make any sense. 2023, you filed a complaint for sexual battery against Stefon Diggs. You also said you were attacked by Stefon's close associates after turning down his sexual advances. So I'm confused. If you're drugged, what are you saying? You noticed he was touching you and you told him, no, don't. And you were able to what? Get away from the situation? Or he stopped? And where did this happen? Just saying. Somebody said Diggs' PR team must be excellent. Never heard about this incident. Well, you know, I'm going to keep up with all this stuff, no way. Somebody says sending your brother to go beat up someone who rejected you is insane. Edit. Somebody says apparently there's a video out there too. Here's another commenter. Imagine hiring another man to be your stylist, then invite him over your house, then try and hook up with him, then drug him when he's uncooperative and grope him, and then send your brother and friends to beat him up when he tries to leave. It's a bottle of baby oil away from being a Diddy story. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna scream. I've got to read the replies. Sweet Jesus. Someone says, if I had to guess, that's not the first time or last time that happened. We're only hearing about it because Chris has resources and the bravery to speak out. Then somebody says, Chris was suspect though. The resources you're speaking of was him going on to a woman's podcast, a woman who sued Cardi B and lost, I believe twice. Diggs is dating and has impregnated Cardi B. Diggs may have done it. And to accusations, despite their differences in nature, is illuminating, but the platform he chose did make a lot of folks, including myself, suspicious. Somebody said, not beat up. He paid to have him unalived. That leaked text message clearly said he survived a hit attempt. Diggs put money on his head to silence him. That would be felony solicitation of murder and carry a 20 to 30 year sentence if proven. Be interesting to see Diggs' deleted text messages to his brother and friends around the time of that incident. Then somebody else replied, yeah, that's what the text said, but the video looked more like a beat up from what I remember. So wait a minute, wait. Please don't tell me, Stefon, you said people you know to beat this man up, and the people can be verified in the damn video? Oh Lord, please tell me no. Now, Double or Nothing replies, a text between Chris and Drake is not evidence that a hit was put out. I could text you the same thing. Doesn't make it true. I'm not defending Diggs here, but that would be laughed out of the court if used as proof of anything. Chris could be using hyperbole to plead his case to have Drake help him out. There y'all talking about. Then somebody said, I thought he got beat up for stealing jewelry. Then somebody replied, allegedly. Okay, now AP Professional says, I remember when this story came out, there's a video of Diggs guys attacking him as well after Griffith left the room and walked away from Diggs. Well, then that means other people have to be in the house then, if we're going to believe this allegation. Make it make sense. So where did all this take place, this meetup of Mr. Stefon Diggs and this Chris Blake person? Number one, how did you meet him? I thought this was just somebody he never met and they were just making up stuff about. But obviously they've been in the company of one another, because if he ran out of his house, that means he was in his house for a reason. And you mean to tell me you don't know a gay man? And why would a gay man be in your house? He's out there cooking you food, styling you, or y'all doing something else. Come on with it, Queen. And then they said, yup, and he was pleading to Drake to put more eyeballs on the story. And Drake responded saying he wasn't a snitch. What the hell does Drake have to do with this? Stefon Puff Daddy Diggs. Then somebody else says, Mr. Bisexual Choker. Oh my gosh, please stop. Okay. Now, Ray replies, in the early days of HIV/AIDS, the people infected were, for the most part, homosexual men and IV drug users. The one category that stood out, however, was heterosexual black men who had a much higher incidence of infection than any other straight group, alarmingly higher, so much that scientists were worried that there was something that was causing African Americans to be more susceptible to the disease. The thing was, researchers eventually realized that those straight male African American men were having sex with other men. They just didn't identify as gay or call themselves gay. So going forward, when asked about their sexuality, the question would be, do you have sex with other men? As opposed to, are you gay or homosexual? And suddenly the numbers came back into alignment. So as I would create tables of data, you would often see the acronym MWHSWM, which stood for men who have sex with men. Later on, after I left that journal, it was shortened to MSM. What in the hell? Just a homebody says, why can't people keep their hands to themselves? Oh, wow. Somebody says, Stefon gets charged with strangulation. Stefon is allegedly gay. Okay, what does gay and strangulation have to do with each other? Maybe I'm missing something. Are y'all hearing this nonsense I'm reading? Because this is ridiculous. Mr. Bisexual Competitor. I'm gonna stop right there. These are all allegations pertaining to Stefon Diggs being gay. But where there's going to be a problem, if indeed these men were in the same room, house, hotel, whichsoever together, there's proof to show they were in there together, because I'm reading these comments from people commenting. Of course, naturally, it doesn't mean it's the truth of what these people are saying. But if indeed there's a video and it looks like it's a house, hotel, studio, and the man's getting beat up and the man clarifies, oh yeah, I was just in the room, maybe there's some truth to it. Period. Oh, sorry, everybody, I'm buffering. If these two were in a room, don't send anybody to beat him up. Johnny on the spot right after he ran out of the room, ran out of the hotel, wherever this alleged allegation took place. So that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Do these two know each other, number one? Were they in a room together and some hanky-panky went on and this Chris Blake guy ran out? Did he also, Mr. Diggs, call family, friends, whomever, to beat up this Chris Blake? Because if this Chris Blake is a known homosexual, Mr. Diggs, you're going to have to prove to Cardi B in the world why you were in a room, allegedly, with this man alone. And then the people, let's say they did go beat him up. Let's just say this is true, this allegation. Stupid, beating up some homosexual man. Because that should be on your mind. Well, why are we going over here and beating up some homosexual guy? And tell everybody straight, well, you need to be very careful of your friends and what you do for your friends. Like I said, I don't know what's the truth to this. Maybe there is some truth to it. Maybe the man was wanting money, wanting time, wanting Stefon to own that they like each other, they date, whatever the hell they do. I don't know. I just thought this was just some crazy crackpot out here who's just making up, stories. Hey, yeah, Stefon, we talk, we date, we screw around. But the more I listen to the comments, it's apparent that these two knew of each other. And then one person is saying he was a stylist. So where did they get that information from? He was a stylist, went to his home or wherever he was around him, and Stefon came on to him, and so he decided to drug him. I don't know what's the truth. Now I don't know Stefon Diggs trying to sue me, because guess what? Queen ain't got no money. Let me make that clear. Allegedly. Allegedly, all this is a bunch of mess, because this goes back to what I say. Live your truth. You know you like men, just come on out the closet. But see, that's the problem. A lot of men, specifically black, do not want to come out the closet as a gay man. They want to play that role, use women, manipulate, make babies, and then it'll be 40, 50 years, he'll decide he want to start wearing diamond chokers and rings and wearing nail polish. Just saying. He may be a homosexual, may be bisexual. But you should know that you're not going to be able to keep living on the edge and sleeping around with men and think the man's not going to come back and tell the story. You're going to always have these problems. And it's probably the reason why it was mentioned about the NDA with the chef. Why would you need a chef to sign an NDA? She's just coming in to cook the food and leave. But the allegation is that same chef had been living in your home. So that made me think maybe there's more to that situation. Stefon might just be the type of guy, he's a troubled soul, and he's out here free and willy and doing what he wants to do. But what he should know is, you keep letting Willie out of the bag, something bad is going to happen to Willie, and something bad is going to happen to Stefon. Checkmate. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Follow me on the News Break app. I got to put some content over there as well. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats always welcome during the live. The rumor on the street is that David, the singer, is about to face an arrest soon. And Mr. SF, Steve Fisher, says there was also a chainsaw found in the LA former home where David was residing. And it was in the cover still, had not been used. And as I said before, what was the point in mentioning all of this a month or two later, when you could have told us months ago that you saw a chainsaw and burn cage in that garage? And for the record, it does not belong to the owner of a house. He says he did not buy the burn cage, nor did he buy the chainsaw. So, David, did you buy these items to attempt to dismember and burn Celeste Rivas Hernandez? I say yes. Thank you for your time, everybody. Happy holidays, happy new year. Let's clean those rooms out, closets, kitchen, basements, attics, garages. New year, out with the old, in with the new. Donate, trash, give away. Free yourself. You don't need all that junk. Thank you so much. You've been listening to The Raw XL. Thank you.